Avery, whose show is this? And we're live. Welcome, everybody, here to the Lakers Lounge Podcast. I'm Anthony Irwin, Senior Lakers Insider, as well as lead Lakers content creator for Offside. Joined on this fine Sunday evening, my time, late afternoon, probably your time, by nobody. It was a home game. Raj is still at moneylaundering.com arena, and I am writing solo. I am doing so to discuss a Lakers win over a good opponent. How about that? Yeah, I didn't know that was possible. They beat the New York Knicks 110-97. They led from tip to final buzzer, and at various points looked dominant out there. Again, 110-97. So we'll recap that game. We'll talk about LeBron being scratched late. We'll talk about the way that the Lakers were able to be successful. We will have that conversation about LeBron James and Austin Reaves, who looked really bleeping good today. Wonder what Rich Paul thinks about that. And we will go ahead and answer some questions to wrap things up on this, again, extremely fine Sunday afternoon. A quick reminder, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button. Please turn on those notifications for whenever we go live. Hit that share button as well. Let's keep on growing this bad boy. And then if you guys are listening to the show in the morning via podcast, please subscribe wherever it is that you get your podcast, preferably on Odyssey, but wherever you get them works for me. You can kind of hear it in my voice a little bit. Just getting over the final remnants of whatever it was that Avery brought home. So apologies for how I sound, but I am freaking pumped. That was an amazing game. Again, the final score 110-97. The Lakers held the New York Knicks under 30 points in all four of the quarters in this one. Got close there in the fourth. Got a little nervous there in the fourth, closer than we wanted it to get. At one point, the Lakers held a 26-point lead. And like I said earlier, they led. They scored the first points of the game and then led on through there. Never trailed against a New York Knicks team that has been playing good basketball this year. They currently, after that game, sit at 41-24. And they were especially good recently on the road. And yet the Lakers were able to take care of business against them. Most notably here, in just terms of individual performances, I thought Luka played one of his best games of the season on both sides of the ball. Extremely active on defense and did enough on offense, I thought. He played 38 minutes, scored 35 points, and was a plus 14. He grabbed 8 rebounds, dished out 4 assists, did have the 6 turnovers. I also thought he kind of, took some tougher shots than he needed to in that fourth quarter. But I thought his legs were just kind of tired, to be completely honest. And yeah, it was and again, the defense to me stood out as much as anything. I was very, very impressed by the defense and the energy and also the vocalization. Like Luka, maybe it's because like he has to talk, and because he was reluctant to pick up that 16th tee, he wound up talking instead to his teammates. But I also think too, like when LeBron is out there, he and Luka don't really want to step on each other's toes as leaders and stuff. Whereas in this game, it was a very clear ranking vocally, and I thought Luka had his best game in basically any way that you could possibly have a best game. Also notable here was Austin, who played 39 minutes in this game. He scored 25 points on 8 of 16 from the field, grabbed 4 rebounds, dished out 5 assists, had 3 steals in this game, only 1 turnover for Austin, which is pretty impressive given the defenders that were on him for most of the game. And Here is where I will say I don't think it's a coincidence LeBron not being there and Austin looking like this. For whatever reason, the offense has kind of backslid when Luka, LeBron, and Austin share the court, and with LeBron getting his own unit and Austin not getting his own unit, you've seen Austin's role diminished, I think more than it should have been, on the other side of the All-Star break. And tonight was a good reminder of like, no, actually, he started the season playing all NBA basketball, came back and looked a lot like that. And then more recently, as his role is kind of, lessened, we've seen some of the conversation about him, I think, get a little carried away. And so yeah, awesome game here from Austin. Also really liked Rui stepping into the starting lineup. He scored 13 points. Honestly, probably should have scored quite a few more. Had a ton of really good looks from three that he needs to knock down. But he made up for that by grabbing 7 rebounds, and he even had a couple assists in this game. And I just thought that he really kind of provided exactly the stuff that, like, because I did Matt Moore's show Friday afternoon. I don't know if that's aired yet. And he asked me about Rui and why he isn't, like, why I'm not higher on Rui as like the Lakers' fifth starter or moving forward with Rui. And my response then was like, look, man, if Rui rebounded, and defended and did all of those things, like, I would have zero problem or zero concern with Rui, especially in the post LeBron era. But he doesn't consistently rebound, and his shot is just a little too slow to be like the fire alarm, ringing out whenever he's open type of shooter that the Lakers kind of needed his spot. But tonight did everything that, for the most part, did everything that the Lakers could have asked for him. I thought he set a really good tone physically here for the Lakers in LeBron's absence. And and again, like, I'm not going to go so far as to say that the Lakers are better without LeBron James. I just the basketball my basketball brain will not allow me to do that. And my heart honestly will not allow me to do that. I will never, like, just openly say, yeah, this basketball team is worse when LeBron freaking James is not available in it. However, what I will say is, because LeBron, like, he has talked about this in the past, he would rather play more minutes and be on the court for longer, but pace himself. And that is not what the Lakers need. What the Lakers need is rotating, high motor, high energy, high athleticism type guys out there, and defending on a string and closing out to shooters. Like, I thought the Lakers had their best game of the year as far as closing out goes. I'd have to look to see what the Knicks shot from 3-point range. Yeah, they shot 8 of 34 from 3-point range in this game. And I don't think this is a randomness deal there. Like, 3-point shooting can often be somewhat random, but I actually thought that the Lakers made the Knicks really uncomfortable when they were shooting the basketball. And that was Rui, and that was Vando, and that was Laravia, and that was everybody out there, right? Marcus Smart, Austin, Luka, everybody who was out there was really defending on a string and playing really hard for all 48 of those minutes. There was nobody really kind of pacing themselves in that game. And that is where I will say the Lakers need more from LeBron. And I don't mean like the Lakers need 35 minutes of LeBron playing his absolute hardest. I would actually kind of like to see what it looks like if LeBron shaved a few of those minutes off of his minute allotment and played harder for those minutes that he's actually out there. Because yeah, when he is kind of pacing himself, and then Luka starts pacing himself as a result of saying LeBron pace himself, and everybody starts pacing themselves because your two leaders are not playing as hard as they can for a couple of minutes at the time. That is where just kind of culturally and the engagement level dips below where it needs to. So that is where like those two spots I think is where LeBron's absence today was not a good thing, but like those are two lessons that I think the Lakers can learn is all right, when LeBron comes back, we can't just put Austin in a corner. And when Austin comes back, maybe play him a fewer minutes and have him play harder and so in those minutes that he's actually out there and rely a little bit more on Rui, on Jake, on Vando, and open up the rotation a little bit more for those guys. Cause yeah, when those guys were out there and they were all kind of flying around, I thought Jackson had another really good game today. That is what the Lakers need to be able to do to compete with some of these other teams that yes, they are more athletic, but you can't be less athletic and also play less hard. The Lakers today were less athletic, but they played, I thought, harder in aggregate than the Knicks did. And that's a big change here moving forward that we need to see more consistently. Final guy that I want to shout out from the Lakers in terms of overall effort and impact and all of that stuff was Marcus Smart. I thought he was excellent out there today. Just one of the better defensive games that you will see from a basketball player. And like, look, the fact that this dude, you look up and leads the game, he's a plus 27 in this game. And he does so going 0 of 5 from 3-point range and 1 of 10 from the field overall. That is remarkable. Like that, you will not see that very often, if ever, honestly. I would love to know how many games in NBA history a player is, plus 25 or higher while shooting 1 of 10 or worse from 3-point range. Because that was incredible to watch him out there. I thought he made Jalen Brunson uncomfortable all over the court. I thought Josh Hart was didn't make much of an impact in this game. When he was out there, like the Knicks, just like their offense, just overall, the ball wasn't moving very much, and by their standards. And I thought Marcus Smart really kind of gummed it up. He was flying all over the court. He was falling all over the court productively. Almost took out Bill Maher, which I was really kind of rooting for. It was an excellent Marcus Smart game. So effing fun to watch. I can't believe I'm saying this. It was so fun to watch a guy go 1 for 10 from the field. Now, like if he knocks down a few of those shots, the Lakers win by 50, right? Like I thought Marcus had some great opportunities. I thought Rui had some great opportunities that those guys just didn't cash in on. And that would have ended the game 6-7 minutes earlier or whatever. But sorry, Avery, 6-7. But like the like what we saw from Marcus in that game, and again, it's just a matter of like he sets this tone, he sets the bar. The expectation is like, all right, I'm playing this hard. If you guys don't play this hard, I am going to stick out in all of the good ways, and you're going to stick out in all of the wrong ways. And it makes the Lakers significantly better defensively. I want to pick back up on this. Really quickly. So LeBron, remember he went down in last game with some kind of elbow thing, right? And I didn't really think much of it. And then ESPN reported, they were like, yeah, it's his elbow. He has like a contusion in there or something like that. But really, this is about his feet, and the arthritis that is in his feet. If he and they also said that this is this has been a thing all year, and will continue to be a thing all year. And again, it's like, all right, this dude is 41 years old. He has arthritic feet. His shot has suffered as a result of his feet really kind of bothering all year. Like finding out that he's been having foot problems all year really enlightens what's been going on with LeBron as a shooter. But it's like, all right, cool. Like you're 41 years old. Let's back it up a little bit. Let's take our foot off the pedal a little bit in terms of your overall minute allotment. But then when you're actually out there, like, we want to see you, play to the level that we're capable, or we you should be capable of playing. So like I that this those second two dots there, LeBron, scratch, latent energy, that to me is where I think his absence the biggest lesson here from his absence, because again, I don't want to say his absence was a good thing. I'm never ever going to say that. He's just too good a basketball player. He's been too good a basketball player. He's too smart a basketball player for his absence to be a good thing for the Lakers. But what I will say is you do have to learn from this one, and the lessons are just too glaring to not have learned it, because we saw the way that the Lakers were playing early on in the year. And then we saw this game, and we saw how Austin was playing early on in the year. And we saw this game, and it was a return to the way that the Lakers were playing early on in the year. And this is where, like, you know, you can't have a message sent so blatantly and be like, yeah, well, maybe we need a little bit more data. No, I think it's pretty crystal clear here that, like, all right, LeBron, instead of, I'd have to see what his stats are this season, like his minutes per game. Let me see if I can get that really quick. LeBron so far this year, he's played 44 games and he is playing 33.1 minutes per game in them. I would like to see that, maybe even dip below 30. Give a few more minutes to Vando, give a few more minutes to Rui, give a few more minutes to Jake, depending on who was playing better that night, and allow the Lakers to have more athleticism, more engagement, more discipline, out there. Because yeah, like those the what you didn't have in this game was, LeBron in the paint, like just kind of watching the ball fly around him and try to, and look, like he's doing it's smart from LeBron. Like he's pacing himself so that he can be on the court, but that is not what the Lakers need. I think the Lakers need somebody out there who is actually closing out to shooters, who is actually, tagging, or, recovering, or successfully operating as the low man defensively, rebounding, and all that stuff. Like those are things that, at 41 years old, LeBron just isn't quite able to do. And I think the lesson from this one is you need to get guys out there for all 48 minutes who can and will do all of those things. Because in the NBA, it's not a matter of, like, the NBA for the vast majority of my lifetime has been defined by what the guys, like, this your ceiling is is what matters most, and that is defined by the guys at the top of your roster. But nowadays, what actually we've started to see the NBA go in, or slide in this opposite direction, where actually your floor is what matters more, and that is dictated by your weakest links. And defensively, oftentimes I do think LeBron has become one of the Lakers' weakest links. And that is, and you have Luka out there, who obviously has his own defensive concerns. Austin can get picked on. Luke Kennard can get picked on. And the Lakers just have so many weaknesses that you do have wings to make up for that stuff. Like Vando today, he had a play where he hassled Jose Alvarado all the way up the court, got a deflection, knocked the ball back into the backcourt, forced Alvarado to have to give the ball up, forced Alvarado to get the ball back, and then try to shoot some, like, last second of the shot clock type of heave. And it's just like, yes, give me that Vando, like, more of that, please. And I thought he was all over the place tonight, and all in a much better way. I thought Jake had a great bounce back game here from Jake. Even though statistically it's not going to look like it, Jake only played 13 minutes, scored only 6 points, didn't attempt a three-pointer. I am getting a little nervous that he's passing up some of those looks. But he was a +8 because he grabbed 4 rebounds. He had 3 offensive rebounds, dished out 3 assists. And you combine that with Jackson, being effective on the boards. Talked about Vanderbilt. He played 10 minutes here. Like, I love this bench minutes allotment where Luke Kennard played 27 minutes. That makes sense. I think the Lakers offense needs him out there as much as you can keep him out there. But then everybody else, you have Hayes play 17, Jake played 13, Vando played 10, Kleba played 10. Like, I Ayton only played 20 minutes in this game. I like it. I didn't want to see Ayton start. But I'm glad that, if he's going to start, then keeping him down in like the 18 to 20 minutes range so that you can go small for a few possessions and you can get Jackson out there as frequently. Like, honestly, by the time we get to the end of the season, it wouldn't surprise me if Jackson and Ayton start playing the exact same amount of minutes. Um, and then you also have like a handful of minutes that you can dedicate to small ball or Kleba or something like that. So, yeah, I really loved the way that the Lakers played today. Not just in terms of like picking up the win, not just in terms of passing that test that we've been talking about the Lakers needing to pass, but also the way that they went about it. They were fucking flying around out there. And that is the kind of defense that the Lakers desperately need to get to and to stay at. They were moving the basketball, I thought, really well in this game. Austin was getting downhill. Luka was getting downhill. You had great looks generated for Rui, for Luke, for Smart. Vando knocked down a 3-pointer in this game. And they got out and they ran in transition in opportunities that they created for themselves defensively too. So just an outstanding game here. And again, I'm not gonna, don't clip me don't try to get me in trouble here. I'm not saying that the Lakers look like this because LeBron didn't play. But what I will say though is I think the Lakers can't look like this with LeBron playing 33 minutes and pacing himself to be able to play all of those 33 minutes. I do think LeBron needs to have his minute total per game come down a little bit so he could play harder and so the Lakers can play harder around him. All right. Also, by the way, another reminder, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button, all of that good stuff. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I'm going to dive into the comment section a little bit early today because my family is waiting to eat dinner. So I don't need to go out there and see some hangry zombies out there. We did get a super comment, which means I get to start with this bad boy. All right. Justin Tyndall 40 writes, great win. Good to see Austin back. Hate Luka chucking up threes. 16 is way too many. Can Kennard get a multi-year deal at mid-level money? I'm hoping that the Lakers can keep Kennard on like a 2-year, $15 million contract. That's probably as much as I would pay Kennard. But I do think, like Trevor Lane had a great stat talking about the Lakers 3-point efficiency. Now it's probably dropped in this game because the Lakers shot really poorly, but the Lakers were like top 3 or have been top 3 in 3-point percentage in the league. And that has been the case basically since they traded for Luke Kennard. The Lakers have just so desperately needed this kind of a laser. And now they have him shooting like this. Rui is also a really good 3-point shooter. It's really opened things up. Rui said after the game today that the Lakers spacing was really good. And I think that was a result of having Rui out there who spaces the floor really well, and or Luke Kennard out there at all times, spacing the court and keeping things open for Austin and for Luka. Now, I will agree, though, Justin, the one nit, if you want to pick it from Luka's game here, was the 16 threes that he shot. I don't love that. I think that is probably 6 or 7 too many. But I do think, Luka played 38 minutes in this game, and I think he got kind of tired and started chucking three pointers as a result of getting tired. This is where I would like to see the Lakers do a little bit more to get him the ball on different parts of the court. Like, I just think one of their pet plays that they should be able to go to is Luka operating at the pinch post. You have guys like Austin, guys like Smart, who can throw entry. Even Jake is a good enough passer to throw, post entry passes. And I think that is where, the Lakers can just mix things up because, I was noting it again in the offside chat tonight. Like when the offense went away, it's like, all right, get a post touch, somebody get downhill, somebody get the ball into the paint, or, more specifically into the restricted area. Finally, Luka had a left-handed layup late in this game. I think Austin got into the paint on another play. And that was just enough offense. I do think that the Lakers missed LeBron late in that game because he is another guy who can get downhill. You can get him the ball in the post and basically like start possessions from where, the Lakers need to get the basketball. That is where I think LeBron would also really kind of help out. Because he, like part of the reason that the Lakers have been such a good clutch team this year is because when it's late and you need stops to be successful, that means LeBron is probably engaged late. So, like, again, I think the Lakers, the best version of the Lakers still features LeBron James. He just has to be fully engaged. And he is not fully engaged when he's playing 33 minutes a night. So, like, I would like to, in this game, instead of some of those step back threes that Luka was shooting, some of those possessions would be LeBron possessions. I think the Lakers could have relied a little bit more heavily on Austin down the stretch. I would like to see more two-man game between Austin and Luka, or eventually Austin and LeBron. I would like to see, a couple of sets down the stretch. Like Luke Kennard actually closed this game, which I thought was interesting and the right call, by the way. But Luke closed the game. If you're going to have him out there, you may as well run a couple of sets for him to, recenter your offense and really kind of get yourself back on your feet on steadier ground. And those are all things that as the Lakers get more reps, they'll be able to figure out and learn more about themselves and put some of these theories kind of into practice. But yeah, it was 16 threes is a little too much. Let's see. We got another question here. Not a question. Fuck Boston. Always. I hate those guys. And on top of it, they're playing really good basketball and Tatum looks good. Ugh, I hate it. All right, let's see. No, I think this is overthinking it. LeBron should come off of the bench. I don't quite see that. Eric, great defense, great energy, great chemistry. Amazing what happens when LeCancer is out. Come on, man. Lakers are 8-2 with just Luka and AR. So, like, again, we can note, like, that's a good stat. 8-2 when Luka and Austin play is a good stat. That is that is objective fact. Calling him LeCancer, like that's a little far. But I do think that, like, let's build on that. How can the Lakers carry that momentum that they clearly have when Luka and Austin play together? How can you get LeBron to fill in some of those gaps so that you can maintain that type of record and that type of quality of basketball when LeBron is also available? There are lessons to be learned here, and I don't think the lesson to take from this game is, nope, they're better without LeBron. Like, that's too simple. And I just think it's just flat out wrong. I'm not going to agree with this notion that, like, nope, the Lakers don't need LeBron. Actually, let's go ahead and shut this guy down. No, I'm good on that. That is not, you're not going to get that from this channel. Let's see. Taman Singh Multani writes, would you trade 2 unprotected picks and a swap for Murphy, for Trey Murphy? That's a good question. Seems steep personally. I probably would, but if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna try to move Vando's I'm trying to move his contract as part of that trade. Now what I will say though is like if I would prefer to like if I'm gonna move that like 2 unprotected picks for a role player, I would like to see if like Giannis goes to Minnesota and instead of it being instead of it being Trey Murphy, it's Jaden McDaniels for that kind of a price. Or like if Giannis really, really wants to go to New York, Mikal Bridges. I'd rather have Bridges over Murphy. I'd rather have OG Anunoby over Murphy as well. So, like if I'm going to give up 2 unprotected picks, there are other wings who I don't know if I'll go so far as to say will probably be on the market this summer, but like I could see them likely being on the market this summer. And there are other wings or even other players who I would prefer to move that type of um to move that kind of capital for because like we've seen what happens to teams when they overpay for a role player, right? Like it's cool that Minnesota has gotten to 2 Western Conference finals, but there's a ceiling on their that they're playing under. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that not only do you have a ceiling that you play under when Rudy Gobert is on your team, but also when you give up so much to get Rudy Gobert, it makes it difficult to improve other aspects of your team. And that only fastens that ceiling. And the Knicks, had they not traded, what was it, 5 picks or something like that for Mikal Bridges, Giannis would be a Knick right now, and I bet they regret that one. So, like, whenever the Lakers do eventually trade for or acquire the wing that we're talking about, they have to be very selective who you trade multiple first rounders for, because that they don't have a ton of margin for error for one thing, and secondly, we see the impact that overpaying for role players typically has on teams. Let's see. Let's go back up here. Yeah, this is a great point. Gabe Rocks, if AR is going to hit the middle and get to the rim, our offense is tough. He's the only of the Lakers' big 3. He's probably their best player when it comes to getting downhill. And I also thought really importantly in this game, Austin started going back to kind of working in the mid-range and not needing to get all the way to the rim. There were certainly plays that he got all the way to the rim, and I'm not saying those need to go completely away, but he had at least one floater that I can think of, knocked down that like bank shot that he's really good at from 10-ish feet away, knocked down a couple of elbow-ish jumpers as well. Like those are the shots that that Austin needs to get back to. Pete and I talked about this on Friday. Those are the shots that Austin needs to, always I thought needed to get back to because it opens up the rest of his game. So good to see that from Austin. That type of productivity, and also by the way, like it gets him in a rhythm. Those shorter shots, those mid range jumper shots, like those are the ones kind of like those free throws. If you get and also by the way, like with how infrequently he was driving when LeBron and Luka and he were all available, he was shooting fewer free throws, and I think that also kind of takes him out of a rhythm. So in this one, he got middle plenty. He was shooting those middies. He was getting to the free throw line, and like I think he started the game with a couple of free throws. That as a shooter, those were always my favorite games. If I could start the game just with a couple of rhythm, either jumpers or free throws just to really kind of hammer home the habits that I needed to hammer home as a shooter. Like that, those are the games that I typically played best in. And I don't think it's a coincidence that Austin started this game by getting to the free throw line, kept on getting to the free throw line over the course of the game, and then was also effective when he didn't get to the free throw line. It was a great Austin game. Really good to see. Let's see. We will go here. It's so funny. Finally, a quality win. Let's go. Finally, a good win. Like, I'm right there with you, man. I was sitting there going into this game. I was like, please don't embarrass me again. Like, please win one of these. Try it just once. I'm glad they were able to get that win. Um Let's see. Aiton had his motor going for a bit. He's another guy, right? Like bring his minutes down a little bit and basically tell and so Reddick said something interesting before the game tonight. He said that he is confident. Oh, my daughter's outside. Um he JJ Redick actually said that he's confident that the Lakers are going to get more consistently from Aiton from here on out. And I was kind of like, if I would love, like, I'm going to ask around and kind of see what he means by like what's going to change. And I kind of wonder by continuing to bring Aiton's minutes down and basically telling him, hey, when you're out there, don't pace yourself. You're not going to play 30 minutes. Like that is those, you're not going to play 30 minutes a night for us. If you can give us 20 minutes a night, playing your absolute hardest, flying around, bending your knees on switches, contesting at the rim, running the rim on offense and defense, setting good hard screens, rolling hard. Like if you can do all of those things for 20 minutes rather than playing for 30 minutes and only doing those things for 20-ish minutes, then let's just play you the 20. Jackson can play another 20, and you have 8 minutes or so left over to go to small ball if you need to. And like that I think is the equation here. Like that's the solution that the Lakers need to go to with Aiton is fewer, and same with LeBron, fewer minutes, playing harder in those minutes. Let's see. I think um let's see. Do we have any more? Um, Oh, and actually, somebody pointed this out earlier in the chat. I missed it, but Nathan Goldfarb writing, notice LeBron wore Lakers team gear on the bench today. Usually doesn't do that. Not only that, I thought he was super engaged on the bench. And I look, I'm the same guy who criticized him in that first game for kind of like just sitting there with a 1,000-mile stare. But look, it just matters when your team leaders visibly care, even though they aren't playing, even though they aren't available. Also, like think about it this way. For how many guys on this Lakers roster, like did they like grow up with LeBron as one of, if not their actual GOAT? Like you have some young guys on this team who grew up watching LeBron play. It probably means a lot to play on a basketball team with LeBron bleeping James. Remember the way the guys used to talk about, like, damn, I can't believe I'm on a team with Kobe, and the amount of admiration that those guys shared for Kobe. And I think Kobe understood that, and he tried to utilize it with guys to become a better mentor. And with LeBron in this game, wearing the team attire that is all new, especially for a nationally televised game. Normally, LeBron would try to pull a fit off. I think part of this also is that like he was a late scratch, and that might play a factor here too. But Like the team gear, I don't care as much about that. But what I do sincerely care a lot about was LeBron being up from the bench, talking to guys when they come back from the bench, coaching from the sideline, letting referees hear it if they need to hear it. That stuff is really good to see from LeBron, and obviously hoping that he doesn't miss a whole bunch of time here, dealing with the arthritis and dealing with the elbow thing. But if he is going to be unavailable, if he isn't going to be able to play, you can still impact the game, and I thought he did today. I thought he did a really I thought he did a really good job keeping guys engaged and talking to Aiton when he got back, and talking to Hayes when he gets back to the bench, and talking to Austin, and I don't see him talk too much to Luka. Luka also didn't sit very much in this game. But I thought it was a really good, granted LeBron game from the bench. All right. Yeah, Bridges really struggled. Volley. It is a tough game for me to try to make the point that like I would give up X, Y, or Z from Cal Bridges when he plays 27 minutes and scores as many points as I did. Really struggled shooting the ball. It's been really weird. His shooting, like, remember he appeared to like get the yips when he first got to New York, and yeah, I don't know what's really kind of going on there, but that he was in foul trouble today. I thought Austin did a really good job of getting Mikal Bridges into foul trouble. I thought that set a really important tone for the rest of the game. Bridges is a big part of everything that the Knicks do on both sides of the ball. And when he isn't able to play the normal minutes that he usually plays because of foul trouble, and then because of that foul trouble, he doesn't get into a rhythm. I thought that was a big part of the reason that the Knicks didn't look the way that they have looked, especially recently. All right. I am going to go ahead and end this thing here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button. Roz just hit me up, said he wants to do the show tomorrow. So maybe that'll be him and me doing the show tomorrow. Game Tuesday night, Harrison Wednesday. I think another game Thursday. So we're in the sprint now, right? This is when shit starts to get real. And it's good to see that the Lakers, because look, I thought they competed well against the Nuggets. They pick up this win here. That is progress. That is 2 games worth of progress against good teams. So let's keep this thing going, baby. Let's keep this thing going, and let's go into the playoffs with some momentum and some belief. Until you guys hear from me tomorrow, have a great rest of your weekend. Make somebody else's, and I will talk to you